fans, and hope you are locked in and ready for some world-class pool.
And it's in. What a performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have witnessed some absolute thrilling matches so far.
And in it goes. He is your champion. Celebration, so are Victor Zelensky.
Finest players in the world.
Oh, he makes it. Nicely on the 10.
Jasmine Ocean.
And welcome to the Alpina Hotel, St. Johann, where it's semi-finals day at the Predator Pro Billiard Series. We're with the Billard Beckmann Men's Open, where it's time to meet our players. Firstly, on table 2, from Kaohsiung, Chinese Taipei, let's hear it for Wu Kunlin. And his opponent from Veszprém, Hungary, welcome, Oliver SZOLNOKI. And here on table 1, introducing from Marburg, Germany, welcome, Felix Vogel. And he's from Sofia, Bulgaria. Will you welcome Georgi Georgiev. 10-ball is the game, and each match is the best of 3 sets, with each set a race to 4. In the event of a 3-3 tie in the deciding set, we go to a shootout. Gentlemen, you may lag for the break.
To Pro Billiard Series, and you join us for our second phase of matches here on day 7. It's the semi-final stage of the Billard Beckmann Men's Open, and well, on a table 2 that's been delivering fireworks so far this week, a close matchup on paper, the unbeaten Oliver SZOLNOKI taking on Kunlin Wu. And joining me in this 10-ball for this exciting encounter, coming in calling the shots from across the Atlantic, it's Ben Francis. My name's Gethin Davis. Welcome, Ben.
Welcome, Gethin. What a match we have. Wu Kunlin looks like he's going to get the first break. Race to 4, best of 3 sets. If they tie 3-3 in the 3rd set, we'll see a shootout. Now on the right of your screen there in the background, you'll see the young Felix Vogel. He's going to be playing on table 1, where there's also a free stream that you all can watch, courtesy of Pro Billiard TV.
Indeed, Ben, and I have to agree with you. Kunlin Wu will be coming back again later today, appearing in the Predator Mixed Doubles semi-finals. He's been really enjoying his time here in the Austrian Alps, and only defeat he had was in his first round against Clenti Kaci, but he got sweet revenge in the quarterfinals by knocking Kaci out. So coming in strong with the break.
Looking for the 1 ball on the side, and he's got it.
Ooh, very promising break. A thinnest of cuts on the 2, but early signs that someone has got that side pocket lined up for the 1 ball.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Very good signs. Looking for that 1. He might have a layup safety here behind the 4 ball if he doesn't like the thin cut. But it looks like it is the cut shot. Trying to miss the 4 ball with the cue ball, I think.
Ooh, that's gone wrong. But the 2 has landed in a tricky spot next to the 7, only giving Oliver half of it to look at.
Yeah, got away with one a little bit there, but Oliver really good from these kind of situations. Very good tactically.
Oh, good cue ball, like you just insinuated, Ben. That's really the way to lock up your opponent. Takes away so many options when it's resting up against an object ball.
I think we might see a lot of this in this match. Both these players really good on the defensive side of the game. Of course, good at every aspect, but I like both of their defensive sides.
Yeah, I agree.
See if he can get some contact off one rail here, maybe make the 6 ball. He'll definitely be calling the 6 ball.
Well, made good contact. And that cue ball has stayed over on this side of the table, giving Oliver an opportunity at this top right corner. And just adding on with what you were saying, Ben, yeah, Oliver SZOLNOKI, the Hungarian, has been really coming on so well on the Pro Billiard series. I really feel he's getting very close to getting his foot over the finish line in one of these events. And unbeaten so far.
Yeah, I think he's due for a win here in maybe one of the singles. I think he has a win in the doubles. Pretty sure.
Yeah. Was playing with Mayan Zhang in the doubles. They exited before the semi-finals that will take place today.
Yeah, the next match after this, little under 4 hours time. Looking forward to that one as well. Lots of fireworks there in the doubles. Oliver, like you said, been coming on strong lately in all disciplines of Q Sports. Very good player all around.
You mentioned fireworks. I alluded to this table too. I've had quite a few matches over the past 7 days on this table, and I can't think of one that hasn't got me on the edge of my chair. There's been a couple of shootouts in there as well to boot, but it's been a pleasure over here. There's something about this table. Avoids the 7 nice, but that cue ball's just run on a little, Ben.
A couple times in a row, that could be a sign of the adrenaline is flowing. He might be a little excited out there. Semi-final, playing for a good chunk of prize money here too.
Yeah, it's a big moment, and getting so deep in the tournament now, there's not much background noise coming from the other tables in the arena. A lot more focus and eyes on you.
Yeah, I think we'll see more fans piling into those empty seats there as the day goes on. Still a little early out there, but I think we'll see it fill up as we get closer to the doubles and closer to the end of these matches. Lots of empty seats there, free to watch in person. If anyone's in the area, want to go check it out, I highly recommend. It's very enjoyable to watch live on YouTube, but much more enjoyable in person, in my opinion. You see all the little ins and outs of the players.
Yeah, you can get up and close with them as well. It's very casual and relaxed. Players willing to share a word and even an autograph. Oliver looking to take the opening rack and also take a bit of authority on the match. Went offensive, it's paid dividends, and in this winner breaks format, he could start to steal a little march here.
They brought up a great point there, Gethin. These players, they're all very personable, and one of many things I really love about the Pro Billiard series is it's very, I would say, intimate. It's close. You're very close to the players. You could see sitting by Wukun Lin in the front row, you'd be 4 feet from them. And in between matches, they're great human beings. They'll stop and have a chat with you, and they'll sign an autograph, take a picture, give you some tips on your pool game. They're great people. They're all very down to earth, and something I really love about Pro Billiard series, brings them out here in front of the fans close, and I think it's just really, really great that that's part of the sport, that we can rub shoulders with them.
Yeah, indeed. I like the word close, Ben. The fact that you can get this close, and these matches have been very entertaining. You'd be fooled to thinking the tickets would be 3 figures to get here, but it's not. And that is how wonderful this event here in the Austrian Alps is. Oliver. Ooh, just having an unwanted visitor. It's been happening a little bit today. I think there's just one that really likes the action.
Yes, speaking of close, there's one that doesn't want that close seat. They want a closer view. It's the arena fly. I saw Oliver warming up with the break shot, and it doesn't look like he's figured it out yet, so that'll be something to watch, because Wu made the 1 ball pretty easily on his first break. Oliver hasn't got a ball down.
It's funny, after watching the break develop on this table over the last few days, it's a funny one. When players are going in with a lot of authority, the 1 ball is tracking on the cut break towards the center pocket, but just always seems to get a collision. Now, in the Billard Carrinho women's event, there were a couple of players that were just taking a little bit off their break, and it just seemed to clear the pathway for that one into the side pocket. So I'm just wondering if there's a few adjustments, or just, you know, a little bit better understanding about what's going on out there.
Maybe one for our great stats guy, Mike. I would love to see the difference in success between the women's break and the men's break on the PBS, because I feel like the women's speed is a little more successful with making a ball.
I think I would share that sentiment, certainly from my own anecdotal experiences.
This shot that Wu is looking at, he wants to pocket the 2 and follow the cue ball into the 5-9 to play short side on the 3 into the same pocket. This is a very difficult shot to control the cue ball. Could end up behind the 5 if he only kisses the 9.
Oh.
How good is that?
Yeah. Fortune favors the brave, but more so the accurate. That one, pinpoint precision. And Kunlin still at the table with a very good look now.
The other very impressive thing about that was he played position for that angle from the 1 ball. When he rolled the 1 in, I was a little curious what he was doing, but he played absolutely perfect angle to pocket the 2, go 1 rail into the 5. That was really sweet.
Well, Oliver gave Wu a good taste of what is to come. And this is now a very good opportunity for Kunlin to return the favour and just send his own shot across the bow. This is going to be a tough match, Ben.
Yeah, I would expect this one to be close. Really close.
Yeah, when it gets like that, it can be down to fortune from the break. So yes, will be very interesting to see how the live statistics pan out through this match. They can be found on the ProBilliardSeries.com website. along with links to the live scores, results to get here across all 3 events, and also links to our events coming up. We will be heading to Rome from here. Back to Kunlin, who has been really picking this difficult opportunity apart very nicely.
Yeah, it looks very smooth out there. As usual, we've seen lots of this man over the last 10 years or so. Plenty of high finishes, really good results. He's always a force to be reckoned with. I wonder if he goes 2 rails back and forth, or if he just kind of holds it there near middle and take the cut shot on the 10. It's near the pocket. I don't think he has to do too much with the cue ball here. Yeah, just like that.
Yes, I remember this gentleman must have been about 10 years ago, maybe a little more, picking up the World 9-Ball Championship. I remember him being only 20 years of age when he did it, and he's been the ever increasingly exciting prospect since, and brings the scoreline back to 1 apiece. Winner breaks will get to the table for, well, I think Oliver won the lag, so this may be his first break.
I think Wu won the leg, and he made the 1 in the side on his first break, so we'll see if he can get that 1 ball down again. Yeah, very important, that break shot. If you want to follow the scores on the other table, ProBilliardSeries.com has all the scores. You can see all the matches that have happened, and you can see the prize money as well, which I'm looking at here. Pretty impressive. These
lots
players
of zeros.
playing. Yeah, lots of zeros. Yeah, so 3rd, 4th, taking home $8,750. That'll be the losers of this round. And then the champion will take home $37,500. So this match potentially for almost $30,000 difference.
Yeah.
And 17.5 to the runner-up. Lots of prize money out there in Austria.
It's difficult to ignore as a player as well, so there's always inherent pressure that can come with that. But yeah, really good numbers. Thank you, Predator, and our sponsors for being able to put up such a tidy purse.
Ooh, to break rack number 3 here. Looking for the 1 ball in the left side pocket. Oh, he's really added a lot of speed. It got kissed around, went in the other side.
Whoa, great power. Good control of the cue ball. Big hop. Seemed to settle very quickly and didn't get knocked. Unfortunately, there's no path for the 3. Maybe a cheeky combination if he's feeling offensive.
I like that he reached back for a whole bunch extra after we were talking about taking some off of it to make a ball. He said, oh yeah?
He's probably still got another gear to go when it comes to the power on the brake.
Yeah, I don't even know if that was his full speed. You're right. He can hit it pretty good. It looks like he's thinking about this combination, yeah, and I don't hate it because it's not straight, but it's close enough to straight. And I think he can play some kind of control of where the 3 and the cue ball go because it's close to straight. And certainly no easy safety, so if the safety is as hard as the shot, you should try to shoot.
Oh. Center pocket bent, not really left in a clear opportunity for the red 3. He's called the 6, I think.
Yeah, another situation I think where the safety is just as difficult or harder than the shot, so worth playing a shot. And yeah, I think it is the 6 with the cue ball off the side of the 3. Tough shot.
Oh. That was brave. Very brave.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I thought that was brave too, but maybe just no better option that he could see. Might have left this a little straight. Not easy for Oliver to get from the 3 to the 4.
Yeah, I didn't see how bothersome the 6 ball was either for his bridge. If he can slide the cue past it, that will make this a little bit more of an opportunity for Oliver. But if it's straight, yeah, he's really going to have to sacrifice for the 4.
You could see Wu just waving his hand there. He wants the ref to come keep a close eye on the 6 ball. It is all ball fouls here. Can't touch the 6 with his hand or his cue. Would have been a foul. He's done well there to cheat the pocket a little and gain some angle. Good shot.
Looking to more than likely play for the 5. Well, I thought he was going to try and put a little bit of juice on it, but it passes the 8 into the side pocket, and that changes the perspective here.
Yeah, all the balls close together on the same half to finish this rack. Should be 2-1 Oliver.
We had quite a few of, on paper, top seeds going out in this tournament. Not necessarily early, but Oliver has Fedor Gorst and Jonas Suto under his belt in this event, and they're by no means easy matches. So it just goes to show how in tune he is here in Austria.
Oliver has always seemed like one of those players, he just gets up for the big matches. I've seen him play some incredible pool against the best players in the world. SVB, I can remember in a World 9-ball championship semi or quarter final. He's looking good out here in Austria this week. A couple balls left for a 2-1 lead in the semi-final here.
Yep. Both players looking really dialed in, though. Kunlin just taking a couple of risks, and if paid off, would have reaped rewards, but on this occasion, not. Oliver SZOLNOKI back out into the lead, 2-1. And Ben was mentioning in the background, you could see Felix Vogel from Germany. Well, he's in a matchup against Georgi Georgiev from Bulgaria, and they're locked at 1 apiece in their opening set. One mention about Georgi Georgiev, he has been playing out of his skin. I was talking about Oliver knocking out some big names. And Georgi Georgiev has taken out Joshua Filler, Robbie Capito and Matthias Snigoczki on his way to the semi-final. Felix Vogel, well, he's been playing out of his skin. He came through a really thrilling shootout with Albin Ushan, but he's grounded all the way. Every match gone 3 sets.
Yeah, and he's taken out some really big names along the way as well. I can recall a pretty good one against Jason Shaw. Even 3 fouled him. I don't know how many people have done that to Shaw over the years. He seems to be pretty good at finding a way out of those shots.
For the win as well.
Yeah, to do it in the last game as well is a little extra special.
Felix is not necessarily the biggest player in stature, but he's one of the strongest players. He has got so much grit and determination. It's really incredible. Now Oliver to the table, leading 2-1, looking to take an opportunity to get on the hill in this first set.
He's got the 1 ball down. He's got the 5 ball down, but he's a mile away from the 2, and it looks like the 6 is covering it. Maybe a push out.
Yeah.
Looked like he took a little bit of speed off. He didn't reach back as much as Wu did. And he got that 1 ball down. So we'll see if he keeps up that speed. Might look for a little extra to try to get something on the 2 next time.
Well, you quite rightly said he's got nothing on the 2. Will be looking very likely to be forced into a push, but I just feel that anything Oliver does here, Wu's going to be able to read his mind.
Yeah, I think always at a disadvantage, the one pushing. You can see here, I think he's at a big disadvantage. Good chance Wu puts him right behind the 9 ball with the cue ball here. He could go the other way, put the 2 behind the 9 and send the cue ball around behind the 7. I kind of like that better.
Yeah, I think Oliver half expected that a shot of this ilk will be coming his way, maybe looking to get a bit of a result, but a small backup is that the 3 and the 4 are covered. Oliver made sure that 4 was covered by the 7 if it wasn't before, but this was the risk.
That's really well played to freeze him up on the 9 and pin him on the rail. He's taken away a lot of options. But as you mentioned, Oliver knew the 3 was already in a tough spot, so putting the 4 there has kind of extended this rack, I think. Even if he doesn't hit this 2, he's most likely to get another shot.
He's looking at the... He was looking at the short rail to come through the gap of the 6-8. If he goes that way, he'd probably be looking to pick up 2 extra rails. But he's looking at hitting this full in the face and has called the bottom left as a bit of insurance.
Yeah, I think it needs to go between the 6-8. I don't think there's any other line. Inside spin, watch it bend off this rail. Yeah, too much bend to the left. Couldn't stop it from going that way with the slide.
Ooh.
Good safety from Wu. Pays off.
Yeah. That'll make Oliver think twice if he's ever in another situation with the push shot. I'm sure, well, not that Kunlin would have given it him back, but that's exactly what Oliver would have played. So he's not attacking here. He's going for a second foul by the looks of it, Ben. Straight from the 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't hate this choice, I think. And maybe knock the 2 up there somewhere closer to the 3. So you can potentially deal with it. But no sense making the 2 if you can't get anything on the 3. Oh, he tried to really bury him behind the 7 there. Didn't quite get it, but he's still safe.
Yeah, that wasn't far away from just contacting low on that 7 and making this even trickier than it already is. Oliver looking to see if he can squeeze behind the 3.
And had he buried him behind the 7, it might have been tough to get some kind of hit on the 2, and then the 3 foul was on. Instead, yeah, look at this. He's made contact, and that's all he was looking for. He doesn't mind selling out a shot on the 2, knowing there's nothing on the 3 or the 4.
Yeah, exactly. The scenery hasn't changed for Kunlin here. So he may use this 2 to develop a better position to get safety from the 3. But not really too much value in thinking that much further.
Oh, that's absolutely right, and a good call and a good eye from Wu as well. Recognizing nothing happening next, so knock the 3 to the top short rail and the cue ball 2 rails underneath the 10 would be nice. Looks like he's eyeballed the other way, the 3 to the long rail where he's standing and the cue ball behind the 6.
Well, got full ball cover. Not the most difficult of escapes for Oliver, but with 3 balls already up against the rail, looking for cover for either. Well, that's a bit more of a challenge. This is going to be a very precise jump shot from Oliver here.
I mention it all the time. These players, they're so good with the jump cue now. I don't think he called the bank, so it will be Wu Kunlin's option here to shoot, or maybe make him shoot again. It's a real option from here because nothing easy on the safe.
Nope. Just a little strange Ollie didn't call that bottom right corner as a bit of insurance, but You say insurance. He would have been faced with this anyway.
No, but I think you're absolutely right, Gethin. I think it was always going that direction, and you might as well call it anyway, because as we can see here, you get put back in. Can he bank the 4 ball around off a few rails, missing the 10, send it towards the 9 and kind of stun underneath the 10? I don't really see another shot. Yeah, that is what he's going to try to do. Towards the 9. It's going to end up behind the 6, but over the pocket. Oh, and the 6 hasn't saved the day, so chance for Wu to tie this match.
Yeah, it was a difficult position. So difficult that Wu turned it down and gave it to his opponent. It's worked in his favour here. Nicely slotted through the 6 and the 8 ball. This now looking very promising for 2-2 and in keeping with our predictions so far.
Well, and smart to give that one back, and not easy to do that knowing your opponent could maybe just slam in that 7-ball combo. It was there, it was tough, or they could put you in jail, so it wasn't easy to pass that one up. Good choice though.
And still both players in open play, looking very dangerous. I have very much enjoying the fact that it's coming down to a couple of exchanges of safeties as well. It really brings the best out of these two. So far, so good.
He's landed pretty straight in here, so powering up the draw shot straight back.
Ooh, judged nicely. Judged very nicely. And now sitting very pretty for 2-2.
This Predator reserve cloth nice and grippy, so you could see he didn't have to reach back too much on that one. Just had to stay smooth. Zipped it back nicely.
Has indeed. And just taking a look over at our other table, it was 1 apiece. As we return now, Felix Vogel has gone on a bit of a march, already getting to the hill. The scoreline 3-1 there in his semi-final against Georgiev. So a bit of work for Georgie to do. Coming back here, there's really nothing I would change with either player. It's just who's getting the first opportunity, Ben, and maybe a small twist in advantage now with Kunlin returning to the table at 2-2, but with the break.
Yeah, and I would do just the smallest of edge right now, as you say, because his break is seeming to be a little more successful.
Yeah, and I'm sure he will persist from the same spot. His last break, well, he seemed to put a bit of extra in it, and it worked.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see either one of them breaking from the other side. We've seen the 1 ball go in that side pocket too many times from over here for them to switch.
Yeah, lessons have been learnt, Ben.
Yeah, we might even see everybody break from this side for the rest of the tournament if they're watching this. That 1 ball, as I mentioned, shooting straight over there, and this time he's getting a shot on the 2. The table's wide open. What a break.
What a break. And yeah, 2's dressed up very nicely. And everything else has a pocket screaming at it. So, without getting ahead of ourselves, a good opportunity for a quick 2-rack swing. And if Kunlin can put himself on the hill first in this opening set, I think he's he could and should be looking pretty to close it out. Oliver will really be keen to get back to the table here.
Well, this has got to be one of the best breaks I've seen ever on the Pro Billiard Series. These balls connect together so well, too. Stop shot here on the 3. Stop on the 4. Not much to do here with the cue ball.
Well, we don't unfortunately get the replay on the break for table 2. So I'm not going to be able to pinpoint exactly where it's going right. But if he can continue to deliver that, that's really going to turn the tide against Oliver. Because, as I mentioned, both of them looking so solid in open play. He's going to keep giving himself opportunities like this. I can see points going on the board with ease.
Use his extension. Each player allowed 1 30-second extension on that time clock that you can see on the bottom left of your screen. He uses it here not necessarily because he needs it, but he just wants to calm himself if there ever was one tough shot in this rack. Just wants to get a little closer to the 7, make sure.
Yeah, I like that. Using his extension wisely. If you're just not feeling it, and more importantly for me, Ben, and this is because I wouldn't be used to the shot clock like these guys are, once it starts beeping, it just adds that extra dimension, and it is in your ear whether you like it or not.
Oh, it absolutely is a real thing. Shot clock management, an underrated skill, I think.
Yeah, it creeps up on you sometimes, especially if you're in a tricky predicament and need to take a couple of laps of the table to set the scene. Now, this 9 ball, relatively straightforward here. Not much to do with the cue ball, looking very pretty for Kun Lin to take 2 racks now in a row, and more importantly, to get to the hill first in this short race to 4 opening set. And Ben, really good signs for him here. Referee having a little word. Maybe he didn't hear the extension called.
Okay, yeah, most likely that is what happened. I can't see what else it would be about.
Yeah, it looks like the gesture was, you just have to say it a little louder next time or look me in the eye.
That's great.
Wow. That's not a bad...
I can't keep racking that good for you, and you're not going to get a layout like that every time.
Oh, that would have been incredible. Put your own subtitles up at home, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the break stats, though, coming in. Kun Lin sitting at 100%. Okay. And Oliver, 50% already. So, as you mentioned, Ben, the break's working well for both players. Both players looking really good in open play. It's going to come down to the battle of safeties and who gives up that first opportunity. Wu on the hill, leading 3-2 in our opening set with the break.
The 1 ball misses this time, but it's buried behind the 3. And often it is a game of little rolls here and there. Who's getting the first shot after the break is a big one.
Yeah, the next big one, Ben, is what do you got after the break when you do get to the table? Because this isn't pretty. And again, I just feel that Oliver's in the position where if he plays a push, we will read his mind and try to do what he will have believed Oliver was thinking.
Yeah, it didn't work out great last time. Ended up in jail on the next shot.
I mean, he could choose to lock up this 2. That might be his option. judging by the direction he's aiming.
Yeah, and maybe leave a kick safety of some sort. I know he looked at the kick safety right away. It was the first thing he looked at off the side rail. But from here, it's very tough to keep the cue ball there if you are going to play the kick safe. So I wonder, maybe he's left the edge of this coming by it. I'm not sure from this angle. I think he gives it back, yeah.
Yeah. Even a cross bank on, I don't think so. He's looking at it to play it thin enough for the 10. I'm just worried that that cue ball is going to track up back towards, or maybe off the rail towards the 3. So if that takes energy out of the cue ball, it may hang around down at this end of the table.
Oh, he's hit it beautifully with the kick safety. What a great shot. Wu taps the table. He saw a good one there too. That was not easy to hold the cue ball there like that.
That's worked out really well, Ben. And long rail escape, one rail escape for Wu. He's just looking at making quite thick contact with this one. He's even called the top left as insurance, but I think he's looking just to run that cue ball up against the 2.
He's going to hit it pretty soft, so I think he needs to make sure he gets the cue ball to the rail after he hits the 1. I'm not sure the 1 is going to get there. I hit it with plenty of speed. Is it going to leak out? I don't think so. Good shot.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much in the vicinity of where he wanted it, and you were right to pick up on the fact that a rail needed to be made. And Oliver has come to the table a few times with not really much to look at. He's passed most of the tests so far.
Yeah, this is a big test if he doesn't get this one right. Might be in jail behind the 7 after Wu makes the 1.
Oh. Now we'll get to see how important playing that 2 into trouble will be. As, well, clearly the break statistics are that good. They're still up. But yeah, it looks like he's going to play safe
at
off
that.
this.
Yeah, absolutely. He looked at the 2-4 combination quickly, but I think it's too low percentage. So drop in behind the 2, play a good safety, wait for a better chance. He's overrun this one a little. I think he was hoping to send the 2 around the 8, but he might have to just bank the 2 away and use the 7 for cover. Could use the 9 ball as well. A couple options. Looks good.
Yeah, it does. Cue ball tracking towards the thick of the 7. Just stop short, which, well, I thought looking from this angle, if there was just an edge to hop over, it may have been a tempter. Oliver going around the 10.
Yeah, he's got the end rail. If Wu had froze him on the 7, it would have changed things. Wouldn't have had that end rail, but still good safety, and it's going to earn him a shot. The rest looks okay. Maybe just the 7 to the 8 ball could be the only test here for Wu to win the first set.
Yeah. This will really help getting position back for the 4. Looks like he's just straight enough, if not got a little angle to be able to bring the cue ball back out without needing to punch it into the long rail.
He did land a hair straight. Okay, so he went forward. Looks like he's got the speed right. The 7 ball to the 8 isn't so bad with where the 6 is. I think the 6 over the side like that, if he gets anywhere on the 5, he'll get perfect on the 6. He'll be able to get where he needs on the 7. Look at this. He's bumped the 7 to a more favorable spot, but left himself a bit tricky on the 5. Do you think that was intentional, Gethin, or do you think he just gripped the draw a little bit too much?
I'm going to say it was intentional, and he wanted to hit it a bit harder, actually, but it's a difficult one.
I think you're right. And a crafty shot to find, to nudge the 7 like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a match yesterday, maybe the day before, with Clenty Catchy, and he played 3 or 4 genius shots which you would never have picked up on, really thinking ahead 4 or 5 balls, playing combinations for fun, and it was a joy to watch. Similar situation to there.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up, Catchy. Another player that's really, really good at that, finding those shots 4 or 5 ahead. Develop the game, make things easier out there.
Yeah, you start to question the shot selection because it's early doors, and you're like, well, that's not how I would play that. But then it starts to come clear further on in the rack.
Just going to trickle this one in, stay short side on the 8. Good angle here where he can come across, I think, play the 9 in the same pocket he just played that 7. And I think you were about to say this looks like a great chance to win this first set for Wu.
That was exactly what I was going to say, Ben. However, people do like to bring up the commentator's curse, and if it were ever to happen, it normally happens at key points in matches at the closing stages, so I'll just keep it a little bit more to myself. However, as I mentioned, both players looking so solid in open play, you don't expect either of them to fail from these positions. And this will be Kunlin Wu on the 10 to close out a first set, which could have gone either way, but he really did put the foot down. And this would be 3 racks in a row to close it out.
And he looked really good there in that set. Played perfect. Looked like Oliver's going to step out of the arena for a minute, so Gethin and I will step away for a moment as well. Don't go far. We'll be right back. Looks like both players just making their way back into the arena here, getting ready for set number 2. I think it'll be Oliver to break. Ben Francis here on the mic with my good friend Gethin. What a first set that was from Wu, Gethin.
Yeah, really can't take anything away from him there. And really can't take anything away from Oliver. He didn't give up much, just really 2 fouls in it, and that drawn from such great safety efficiency of Kunlin. And that really, to me, the main difference in the scoreline of that first set. Oliver with an opportunity now, and a must opportunity for him to get back into this match in this second set.
One ball finds a home in that side pocket, but the 3 is right in front of the 2. So far, Oliver hasn't got the best of the looks after the break on his or one of Wu's dry breaks. He was not seeing the 1 ball or the lowest numbered ball, so it's going to need to turn around for him to win this match, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Made the 1 ball well. Unfortunate on what he's been left with, and he's having another look about potentially where to push to. It's not worked so well for him in the match so far. Although he did play a very good
like
kick and stick the last time.
Yeah, absolutely. He did play a good kick safe last time. Always at disadvantage, the one playing the push. Probably gets this one back. Ooh. And a similar shot to last time with the kick safety again.
Well,
kick off the side rail where he's measuring. He needs the 2 ball to miss the 10 on the way by. Oh, he's going to come across the other side of it, Gethin. Try to make it.
Oh.
You send the cue ball around. Yeah, what a smart shot that is. That's so good.
Oh, and a little heavier contact on that 5 would have kept the 3 in the way as well. There may be a little edge for Wu to look at here.
Yeah, I think he's left the edge, which is a little unlucky because he played a really pretty shot there to go rail first, hit the 2 thin, send the cue ball around. So Oliver's a smart cookie.
Ooh. He was looking to feather that blue 2, and in trying to get that fine, has missed the ball completely, ball in hand for Oliver.
I thought it was just me that did that all the time, drive by that one.
I just think the 2 ball moved a little bit just before.
Yeah, what do you mean you didn't see it move? I think we all drive by that one quite often. You don't want to catch it too thick. You're going to completely sell out.
Yeah. Agreed.
And sometimes catching it thick is the same thing as ball in hand, so it's maybe worth going for the thin one anyway. You have to take a little risk.
Yeah, I think you're right. I know certainly for me, I normally try to blame it on that, but I'm sure it's just my eyesight and ability. But Oliver needs, well, I won't say needs, but would really like to just start to get not only this first point on the board, but as he's making balls off the break, just look to maybe add or turn the screw with the break and run as well, because he's going to need to take this to a 3rd deciding set.
And momentum's so important in any sport, but definitely in pool, it's a big thing. And Wu won 3 games on the trot in the last set, so Oliver kind of trying to stop the bleeding a bit here too.
Yeah, and as you can see, that 8 ball locked against the 9, and Oliver hasn't done anything with it, so looking to be very precise here off the 7.
I'm shocked that he hasn't looked at it once, so I guess it goes in the left side pocket. I thought he might have considered moving it maybe with the 6 ball, but 2 rails around. Little bounce off the 3rd rail. He's going to contact the 9 on the way through, though. Oh, it's worked out great. It's not as intended, and that's why you see him hold his hand up in apology to Wu. The players are super sporting nowadays. I don't really love that. They're perfect gentlemen. So
Yeah,
he knows
absolutely.
he got a little fortunate there, and he puts his hand up in apology.
If he had missed contact, he would have been, as you said, Ben, perfect for the side pocket. So a little bit over for the 9. Clearly, it's going to pass that 10 ball, and this for a great reply to the opening set.
Well, that was not as easy as it looked on the screen, into a blind pocket, and I don't think he had all of the pocket, maybe only 3/4 of it. These corner pockets are tight on the arc table. Good shot there.
Indeed, and gets this second set underway with a notch on the board. Oliver SZOLNOKI. Just having a look over at the other table, Ben. Well, Felix Vogel, after taking the opening set, has gone on a bit of a march. He's currently sitting at 3-0 on the hill, breaking for the match by the sounds of it. And I was just having a little chat with the AI, and because I was just wanting to be doubly sure, because I've seen Felix get through to the last stages on quite a few occasions. This would be his first senior final to make if he were to win the next rack and go through. And at 18 years old, you cannot take anything away from that young German.
Yeah, he's got big shoes to fill with some legendary German players. Oliver Ortmann and Ralph Souquet, and now, of course, the great Joshua Filler. But, I mean, if he's starting to get into the final of these major events at 18, he's going to be a force. Speaking of a force, Oliver to break rack number 2 in set 2.
One ball narrowly
One
missed
ball
the
that
side
time.
pocket.
Yeah, he
Nothing
put
on.
lots of power into that one.
Did. Just wondering what Wu's looking at. What Wu's looking at. He doesn't have the shot on. He's not looking at the combination.
Yeah, tough spot here. I wouldn't hate him playing the combination. I think you can keep the 1 ball near the 4 for position. But yeah, he's looking at something completely different. Maybe trying to send the 1 ball around off a few rails, but it looks like the 3 is in the way of that. It has to be the combination on the 4.
He's keeping us guessing, Ben.
Yeah, that's what he's called. He pointed at it now. It's just, he would have loved to find some kind of safety sending the 1 ball around. It's just not there. The 3's in the way. Yeah, and that's not there either. It's kind of a long way off, considering.
Interesting, Ben. I was listening to what you were saying about the combination and wanting to hold for the 1, but I felt if it was too tricky to do that you just compromise it, take the combination, and then be left with better position to play safe off the 1 in looking to stay and hold for the one. I just feel that it upped the complexity of the shot.
Oh, you're absolutely right, Kath, and I think that's what made him miss the ball, was just trying to hold it, kind of don't get through the stroke as much or keep the line as true. Oliver won't mind. Momentum on his side now. Long way back to the 3 ball here, but it looks pretty good on the 2. Well, maybe not quite straight enough.
Yeah, he might be needing to deep draw and look for a thin edge on the 6 to keep going.
Well, this is where the Revo really helps the carbon. Oliver, Predator player, he's got the Revo shaft there, really grips the spin, and the draw is super easy. So he'll be able to get some extra revolutions on the cue ball here to get all the way back. Looks like he's going to power it up forward past the 8. Trying to punch it off 2 rails back between the 10-6. How good is this? And he keeps a little angle on the 3. Good shot.
Yeah, really good shot. And if he can play this and get to the 5, he's really going to start a revolution.
Punch this one up there.
Ooh,
Look out.
Ooh, ooh. Oh.
Wow. He had to let it loose a little, but that was really loose.
Yeah, that's a rough result. Did so much hard work there to get to this position. A real shame to let Wu back to the table at this stage. Even bigger shame that he's got ball in hand. However, still needs to be tidied up.
Yeah, just kind of instantly stifles the momentum that Oliver had. Wu would have been sitting in his chair already, maybe thinking about, could this go to a 3rd set? And all of a sudden, he'll be thinking about getting it done in this set.
Yeah, agreed.
Key shot coming up next. 7 to the 8. I think the 8 passes the 9 into that other corner, but he might have the perfect angle to come across for the 8 in the top left next.
Oh, he's tried to hold it. And he has done, avoiding the side pocket, Ben.
Yeah, better to stay on this side of it for sure, because it takes out the 9 ball, where the cue ball might have been running into it had he played for the 8 in the other corner.
Responding well. Oliver giving Wu this opportunity, and he's not needing asking twice. Was looking ever so slightly that Oliver had just picked up his momentum and was going to use it to his advantage. But as you said, Ben, this 10 to stop that in its tracks. Nicely done, and we'll bring the scoreline back to level in this 2nd set. A must-win set for the Hungarian, Oliver. And talking about getting it done, it looks like for tomorrow we do have a small change in the agenda, and it may be reflected already on the website, but just to let you know, at 12 midday tomorrow we will have the mixed doubles final, and then at 6 p.m. local time we'll move on to the women's and men's final to complete the 3 events. Already booking their place in the final for that women's event The home hopeful and unbeaten Jasmine Ushan will be taking on that ever so bright talent and also unbeaten Soa, who will be booking their places in the men's final. Ben, well, at the moment it's looking very much like Felix Vochel's in the driver's seat over on table 1, and you'd have to say with the break you're going to give the edge at the moment to Kun Lin, but you can never count Oliver out.
Yeah, definitely never count Oliver out. He's such a good competitor. You can tell, very good fighting spirit, Oliver. And yeah, that women's final, that's going to be a good one. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Austria looking to come out with an Austrian champion. Something to sing from the hills in these beautiful Austrian Alp setting. Now, that's a good break, Ben.
Yeah, good break, but again, just the opening ball not cooperating all the time here. Maybe a push out. I can't see him playing a kick safety from here, but they usually would look at that first. You can see he's looking at the push out, and he wants to push it down here and leave just a thin edge of the 2.
Well, normally we've been watching Oliver have to contend with to push or not to push. This time, Kun Lin, he has the conundrum to deal with. And it may be, if he plays the push, chance for Oliver to read his mind.
Yeah, Oliver will love seeing this because he's been the one playing the push out, I think 3 times. So yeah, maybe get to see inside Wu's mind a little bit here. Not pinning the cue ball to the rail there because he doesn't really want to get this one back. I think he wants Oliver to shoot here, try to trap him.
Yeah, it's as if he's just stuck a little bit of bait on the hook and thrown it out there for him.
I think he wants Oliver to try and bank this 2 between the 6-8. Try to hold the cue ball up near the top left corner. It's all about speed. Yeah, well, if he goes that way, he can hang it out over that pocket a little bit.
Far
This
away.
might have been what Wu was hoping for because this jump shot is definitely available. I don't think the 4 passes the 7 and the 9, so that might be a little insurance for later on. If so, he really needs to make sure he gets over these balls jumping, if that's what he's doing. Looks like he can see this ball.
Maybe playing off the right edge, Ben.
Yeah, not enough to make it or anything in the top right, but yeah, something off the right side with a safety. Well, what a shot that is. From that distance to hold it like that, so good.
Yeah, it's a really nice shot to pick out as well. Oliver may return to the table with his jump stick, but really nothing to attack even then.
Yeah, with the 8 ball in the way, I kind of like the kick shot, but he does have the jump cue in his hand. So maybe trying to cut the 2 in the side. How do you get position on the 3? A lot of traffic. Here we go, up and over the 3. You can see how effortless that air rush gets over the ball. He barely touched that one and hopped right over the 3.
Yeah, it was. And unfortunately, you could see what he was trying to do. Take a little bit of pace out of it to leave the 5 in between the 2 and the 1 and the cue ball, but on this occasion you could see from Oliver's expression turning away quickly, he knew it was going to come up short.
Still a very funny position. Needs to bump the 8 here to hold the cue ball. It can't run through it, and it did. Hard to hold it there. That was not easy. Yeah, kick towards the right side pocket. He'll hope the 3 kind of comes, yeah, where he just pointed, and cue ball stays up there by the 6 maybe. Oh, it's really well hit. What a shot.
Yeah, a little tap on the table, as you were saying. Great respect from both players. That wasn't what he was going for.
Yeah, he wanted the 3 underneath the 10. But I think he always knew there was a chance the cue ball could get up on the 6. It was just, didn't have to turn out that good, so he tapped the table a little. Oliver kicking this one towards the bottom right corner of our screen. The speed looks okay. He's not going to completely sell out because I don't think the 4 goes, and the 5's in the way of making something happen here.
Yeah, the cue ball's been over here a few times, but the 4 ball has not been developed. As you can see from this angle, it is available to the top left, and that's probably about it.
Yeah, so he's landed straight over here, and I think it's just the safety. Try to freeze him on the 7. Wants to make sure he gets the 4 a good distance off the rail.
Yeah, Oliver back to the table with not anything to get his teeth into, but he's looking at putting that cue ball off 3 rails to come up behind the 4.
I like this, and he's used a couple systems there. If you can notice, he used double the distance, and then he used that parallel shift from the middle. Yeah, he's going 3 rails in behind. Well, 2 rails in behind, full into it. Good hit, but I think Wu can roll this one in. Maybe come around the 5 to play the 5 in the left side pocket next. Elevated over the 10 a little bit makes this kind of tough though.
With a bump. A friendly bump, Ben.
Yeah, that didn't hurt. Both these players are so good at managing the shot clock that we don't notice it too much, but you could hear the beeps there, and that puts the pressure on for sure.
Slow up. Yeah, it's
I think he's just okay.
It's funny, Ben, with the shot clock. You really picked up on that correctly. You never really notice it when the players have got good shot management, but you certainly notice it when the players don't.
Yeah, and I think as the match gets closer, the games get more important. We start to notice it more because the players are letting the clock run down a little bit more as they try to settle themselves. Might be seeing a little bit of that here. I think they both know it's an important game, important stage in the match here.
This should work quite well. Left a nice angle just to take the energy out of the cue ball with the 9. A little bounce off that long rail, Ben. What angle has he got? Can he force through?
Yeah, I thought he might have been on the wrong side of the 8. He had a small shake of the head there. Wu doesn't give us too much to work with, but he didn't look totally impressed with himself there. Yeah, he was just a hair on the wrong side of it, but he's dealt with it really well. It's good on this 9 ball.
Yep. The right strategy, Ben, to force the issue on Oliver. Getting out into the lead here in the second set. A must-win set for Oliver. He's just going to step this up a little bit.
Yeah, Wu looking pretty good out there. Trying to book a spot in that coveted final, which we'll have tomorrow.
Ben, over on table 1 right now. My last update was that Felix Vogel was running away with the second set. Took a 3-0 lead. Well, as we quickly look back, it's 3-3. Georgi Georgiev not giving up without a fight, and very indicative of the performance he's been putting in all week. Oh my, it's going all the way in the second set over on our other table. Back here, a little bit, well, more subdued in the sense of we're not at a critical point as of yet, but for Oliver, as each rack goes by, if he's not in the lead, it does become that bit more treacherous.
Yeah, you can see Wu keeping a close eye over there on that other table. As you said, Georgiev putting up a really good fight there, and I think I've seen a lot of that from him. He seems like that kind of competitor. He just gets up for these challenges. Probably didn't mind being down 3-0 there. He thought, this will be a story I tell my kids one day.
Yep. Luke Riches had a wonderful interview with him, and if you'd like to catch that, ladies and gentlemen, after this match, please do visit the Pro Billiard Series social media page. It was a wonderful interview with him, and he was so charismatic and honest about how he was approaching this, and so far it's really been proving him well, and what grit and determination in that second set. Now, Wu to break, leading 2-1 with a chance to sneak onto the hill at this opportunity.
He kind of did this in the last set. It was a good break to get on the hill first. But this time, it's a different story. Nothing down. Par for the course, nothing on the opening shot. I don't think Oliver can see the 1.
I think you're right, Ben. Small opportunity of a rail first if he looks to want to continue with an offensive strategy that, when he does get the opportunity to, has been serving him well. Otherwise, we're back to that situation, Ben, where he's got to pick out a push.
I like that he's not being negative or anything out there. We'd see a lot of players pretty upset about the way this has gone after the break. But he just seems to look for the right shot and just go about the business. I mean, I'm sure he's seen just about it, all of it out there over the course of his playing career, but it's always a little frustrating when you can't seem to get any luck.
Well, there's been quite a few matches where the breaks have not been working and coming together, which has led to very entertaining back and forths, especially with the winner breaks format. So I'm sure Oliver, as you suggested, has seen it all before, especially over the past 7 days. And yeah, he very rarely, if any time I've on my watch, lets his head down. He always has that sense of belief.
The players are so good with the jump cue now. I mention it all the time, but they really are. And so Wu Kunlin knows he can't give this one back to Oliver. He probably makes the 1 and gets position on the 2. So he needs to take that chance himself. But a smart push from Oliver. And now he has a chance to play a really good safety.
Nice bit of traffic down the right-hand side to consider.
Yeah, so much traffic over there. Good shot.
Yes, indeed. And there is a one rail escape. Side pocket not coming into play. But nothing guaranteed on leaving your opponent in a safe position, so good shot by Oliver, forcing the issue on Wu.
Good hit, and the one might get safe here behind the 7. It's at least hid enough of the ball to take away the pot into the top left. And I can tell you, Georgi Georgiev with the fist bump at the end of that one after he pumped the 10 in.
Great pickup,
So we got
Ben.
a third set. Oh, nice safety here from Oliver, but he needs the one to slow down a little. Looks like it has.
Called it for insurance bottom right. Looks like the one rail escape again. Although I thought he was doing that before, but picked up 2 extra rails to make a successful hit on this one.
Yeah, so many good things can happen here hitting that ball. Good shot.
Until I saw that cue ball rest, I thought he was going to cut off the gap behind around the 10. But it hasn't.
Yeah, Oliver, he'll be looking to stop the cue ball where the 1 is. I hope the 1 gets to the other side of the table. Oh, he stunned it right onto the 2. Did he call it in the side as well? I think he did. What a shot.
Yeah, he did. He did. He used his system, worked that out to perfection, but very difficult to judge where that cue ball's going to go.
Well, and if the 1 ball hasn't gone in, he's most likely to have a really good safety there. So I think he might have rathered it didn't. This one not so easy. I don't know how he gets out of this predicament. I think he's too close to the ball to avoid hitting the 9 on the way by when he thins the 2 trying to get safe underneath the 6. See if he can draw away from it just a little bit. Oh, he did. What a great shot. I know he's not getting total cover behind the 6, but it's a good containing shot.
Yeah, you just saw that cue ball grip up and change its direction as you were suggesting he needed to do.
Yeah, and it was just in time. He gripped it just in time to avoid that. Wu trying to find the safety, hasn't got it. He's left this 2 ball, and he's not going to love his next shot, I don't think.
Is there a rail first? I'm just wondering if that's more beneficial. Oh, maybe not, because it will push it past the 10. He's going into it directly.
I think he's going to drag it. Oh, he stunned followed it. What a beautiful shot. Oliver, I mentioned at the start of this match, but Oliver, I think that's got to be one of his stronger aspects of his game. He's so good tactically, so good in these spots. Finding the good safeties, controlling the cue ball. Wu's going to switch hands here to kick this ball. And with the left hand, and he kicks it in with the left hand. What a shot. Cool. And he's got position on the 3.
Wowee. Oliver playing a shot very similar before. Wu, anything you can do, I could do better.
Well, and what a time to do it. Potential to get on the hill here. 3-1 in the second set, but what's he done? He can't follow up the kick. He's missed the 3 by a mile. What happened there? The spin let him down, maybe. Never really gripped it. Deflection got him a little. The wood shaft, I don't know how he missed it by that much.
That I would call unexpected. Now, how is it dressed up for Oliver here? He really wants to get his run up and going in the second set, and it's going to need to come from some good safety play. I'm not too sure on this occasion though, Ben, that is it.
Just another tough spot that Oliver was put in. He really hasn't got the run of the ball in this match, in my opinion. I know you make your own luck out there and all those things, but you know, Wu missed that ball by quite a bit. He didn't have to leave it there with no shot and a really tough, touchy safety that Oliver had to try. Good shot from Wu. Into the blind pocket. Good position on the 4. Good angle to come down here for the 5. Doesn't pass the 6, so he needs to play it into the other corner.
That will work very nicely, Ben.
Yeah, and getting straight in and close to this 5 means he can get exactly where he needs to be on the 6, which might be the last test, getting up there for the 7.
Really good opportunity to get on the hill first. Oliver SZOLNOKI does not need asking twice. Wu playing really well to keep him at bay so far, and looks like continuing at the moment. He only needs this set to take the match and book his place in the final for tomorrow. Oliver, I'm not sure he's going to get back to the table on this occasion, and if not, he's going to have a bit of a mountain to climb. He'll have been in this position before. But it still needs to be done, Ben.
Yeah. And Wu Kunlin with the cue ball on a string. Looks like he's not going to be easy to stop here.
No, not at all. And, well, he still also has his foot in the Predator mixed doubles event. And it looks like at the moment he's keeping, or at least threatening, to keep a toe in the men's final. He's taken a 3-1 lead in the second set. And with one more rack, will have booked his place. And that will be at 6 o'clock tomorrow. A little change in the schedule. And we'll have the women's and the men's final running concurrently at 6. And earlier on at midday local time, it will be the Predator mixed doubles final. And if you want to find out who's going to be in that final, well, you need to return at 6:30 today to pick up the semi-finals when they kick off. And just a quick highlight, it is Kunlin Wu, and he will be teaming up with Han Yu. And they're taking on the Japanese duo Chihiro Kawahara and Nayuki Oi. And the other semi-final, Team Wang Alkadi. And they're taking on Team Fu Graba, Xiaofang Fu and Dennis Graba. And that's all to come at 6:30, which is about 2.5 hours from now if you want to set your timer. So, Wu a great opportunity here, Ben, to take the match at this opportunity.
Yeah, and if he can find the break here, he has been successful. He'll come back in a couple hours, try to find it on this same table in the doubles. You love in life. Which he has. He's got the 1 ball down. He can see the 2. Don't think he'll play the pot here, but he could consider it. Really thin into the top right. Cue ball probably coming down towards the 3 in some sense if he plays with a little right spin. What do you think, Gethin? Do you just play safe here? Maybe send the 2 around the 10, cue ball towards the 5?
I don't know, depending on how he likes to play these shots, that cue ball could come running down right in the middle of the 7 and the 10, and I fancy him taking on the combination with the 3-8 after, if he does go for it. No.
Oh, he's played very conservative, just banking the 2 around the 10, probably the high percentage play. You were getting excited there.
I was going to say probably the reason why he's out there.
Yeah, exactly. He took the words right out of my mouth there. The reason we're in the booth and he's got the cue in his hand. Oliver's been really good at these little kick shots in this match. Looks like a kick safe here.
Yeah, I like that. He was looking at taking the energy out of the 2, playing it into the 8, knowing that this was the general area the cue ball was tracking in. Obviously an opportunity for Wu to play safe, but definitely the percentage play of not selling out. So still in this, and well, looking at the table, it's not necessarily the most straightforward either. So we could be just treated to 1 or 2 exchanges of safeties.
Yeah, smart shot from Oliver there. Kept Wu off the shot here. And we all know first game and the last game, the hardest ones to win, especially trying to book a spot in a big final like this. So I'm sure Wu will be feeling it a little bit out there. Trying to use the 3-6, but this is going to leak out a little bit. Hasn't left anything easy for Oliver. I wonder if he'll consider playing a similar shot to the opening one where he'll bank the 2 around the 10 and maybe try to just keep the cue ball up there.
Yeah, it's a
Never easy
one.
when the cue ball's close to the rail like that, right?
No, not at all. I initially thought he could play the 2 back up center table through the 9-3 and look to try and promote the cue ball over towards the 8, but there's always such a danger of scratch.
Oh, he could see the right side. He tried to cut it in.
Oh, fortune favors the brave. He's got a bit of a result there, but looks like Wu could jump over the middle of the 7-10 here.
Yeah, it was kind of Oliver's turn for a roll, but I don't know how good of a roll it was. This is high percentage for Wu to jump this in. See if he can get position on the 3 is really the question. Well, he's lost the cue ball a little bit there, but it's a good pot. Yeah, he might have to cut this one in. There's no good safety here.
I was just having a look around the table, Ben, and I was resigning myself to the same fact. But in making this 3, really the table opens up lovely if he can make position on the 4 as well.
Oh, he spikes it in, but look at this. Perfect camera angle to see that cue ball gone right away.
Yeah, and Oliver also in the perfect angle to see that cue ball as soon as it came off the rail. He knew he was coming back to the table with ball in hand. And this very useful flip in momentum, well, not necessarily momentum, but in opportunity.
He didn't fly out of his chair there because he's a perfect gentleman, but I'm sure he wanted to as soon as he saw it coming off the third rail.
Yeah, I certainly had a little jump in my chair when I saw it. And just of shock, really, because that shot was fantastic. We had the perfect angle to watch the three go in. However, Oliver back to the table. That's all he could have hoped for, with a good chance. And he looks like he's taking it with open hands so far.
In Wu's defense, really tough shot to pocket that ball, and so he just added speed to make sure that he pocketed the ball, but it did seem a little hard.
No. However, it's very difficult to judge where that cue ball was going to end up. He needed to have it down the end of the table for the next shot.
Yeah, he had to let it fly a little bit, that's for sure. We saw a similar one from Oliver where he kind of had to power up a stun shot and send it towards that top left, and found the bottom of the pocket up there as well. So goes around, comes around.
How's the cue ball, Oliver? That'll work.
Still some life left in this match.
Yeah. and This will give Oliver, if he didn't need it, a little bit more belief. And we'll give him the opportunity, returning for the break, to maybe pull it back to a hill situation, and well, it gives him every opportunity to take us to a third and deciding set, as he does. Brings the scoreline back to 3-2. And a little update from our other table, our other semi-final even. Felix Vogel again just running away in the set. He now takes a 2-0 lead in the decider. But as we've seen so far, Georgi Georgiev seems to like to rise to the challenge. Maybe even doing it on purpose.
I was just thinking the same thing. Maybe he just thought, I could spot him 3 games.
No, I very much doubt it, but it does seem like he really does rise to a challenge, and if he does, why not put yourself in a challenge to start with?
I love these formats, the sets format that Predator and the Pro Billiard Series has created. I'm the biggest fan of this. I think it's keeping the excitement through the whole match. Every game really matters so much, and we're seeing it here. Oliver breaking rack 6 here in set 2 with a chance for a decider. Maybe force the third set. He needs to look at the lowest number ball here and get one down.
Ooh.
None of the above.
Couple of threats,
Look
Ben.
for Wu.
Yeah, there was a couple of threats, but you're right, a look for Wu. This table 2 over the past 7 days has really been delivering on match quality. A lot of them going 3 sets and staying close. This does have that aroma. However, we know what Wu is capable of, and he will be eagerly looking to put this to bed, and then can focus on his upcoming semi-final in the Predator Mixed Doubles event.
Yeah, absolute ton of pressure out there right now trying to get a spot in the final. But I do think it helps that he knows he's playing again today. But what a shot that is. That might be the key shot to this rack.
Oh, that was a very thin cut, Ben. And yeah, that's an interesting point you bring up. Knowing that you're coming back today may just, well, you don't really imagine if and how there are any pressures on these players. When you look at them in play, they don't really seem to be under any pressure at all. Smooth as silk, but I can't imagine that doesn't do anything but help.
Yeah, and these elite players, and Wu, one of the greatest of all time, I think super underrated. They're very, very good at getting it done when it matters. That's how they got to where they are. They don't tend to fold under the pressure. They tend to rise to the occasion.
He is manipulating and untangling this very nicely. Just saw where he wants to bring the cue ball now for the 5. Doesn't want to bring the threat of the 9 ball in, so looks like he's going to take it to the right side pocket.
A little draw, a little left spin here. 2 rails, straight towards the 5. Good angle to stay close to the 6. Doesn't look bothered by the moment. Looks ready.
Yeah, he does. And he's had a couple of looks at that 7. He knows if anything close to straight on that 7, and where the 8 is dressed up, he should be able to just float for the 9. I really think the difficulty, or the main difficulty, is now over.
I was a little surprised to see him use his extension on that ball. I thought he might save it in case he got a little funny on the 9. But he must figure that was the last test, and the rest of the shots he should be with very little angle.
Yeah, perhaps knowing that these Predator arc tables are playing nice and tight, and the side pockets just need to be given a little bit more due care and attention.
Yeah, and he didn't want to hear the beeps of the shot
No.
clock there when he was shooting into a tight side pocket.
Exactly.
See if he
Now
tries to land straight and then just draw it back after he shoots this 8 ball. That's what he looked at, I think.
great angle to see the line he's left himself on the 9 here, Ben.
Yeah, one more test. Try to zip this cue ball straight back. Which he has, and the 10 to book a spot in the final. Wuku and Lin. Done it. What a match he's put on there. A great performance from Wuku and Lin. Well, Gethin, what do you think about that match?
Well, it lived up to the expectations, Ben. It was a bit of a shame that Oliver wasn't able to take it to a third set, because I feel it really did have a few more fireworks left in it. We'll bring up the statistics for you. But one thing to note, Ben, over on the other table, its play is still underway, so I'm sure our eagle-eyed viewers will want to shift over there to catch the result. I will not give anything away, but been a pleasure to be working with you, Ben, and have the best of success for the rest of the day. Next match coming up is at 6:30, 2 hours and 15 minutes from now, and that will be the Predator mixed doubles semi-finals taking place on both this table and table 1. Been a pleasure. Thank you all for joining us. And Ben, have fun for the rest of the day, sir.
Thank you, Gethin. And as you mentioned, everybody head on over table 1 and watch the conclusion of that match. We'll be back soon. Don't go far, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in. See you all soon.